These gates may not be the gates to heaven. I know that because I don't see St. Peter anywhere around, but they're the closest thing you'll find on earth, because through the gates is Moselem Springs, the classic golf course designed by George Fazio. It's all part of an amazing story that has unfolded ever since the opening in 1964, hosting the U.S. Women's Open in 1968, renovations after that, and continued growth and improvement. You're going to get a very special look inside this private club right here on the latest episode of The Traveling Golfer.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf smart.
Golfers, we're different. We aren't afraid to go for it. We're dedicated. And we never stop. Not every place gets us, but one does. Myrtle Beach, 78 courses, 60 miles of beach. You could say we were made for each other. The beach gets golfers. Golfers get the beach. Book your Myrtle Beach golf getaway today.
Tradition at its best. Golf lives right here in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, home to the most historic, top-ranked clubs in the country, more than 50 courses, and over 300,000 yards of green, with nearly 80 nearby hotels, incredible attractions, and dining options. It's clear Montgomery County isn't just a place to play golf, it's a destination. Stay and play in Montgomery County. Book your tee time now at montcogolf.com.
At Yingling, we've been brewing great beer that brings people together for nearly 2 centuries. Wherever good times happen, Yingling Traditional Lager has been there and will be for the next round. Yingling, to good times ahead.
Brett Nelson, head golf professional, Moselem Springs Golf Club. That has a nice ring to it, Brett.
I love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. It's really a very prestigious and historic golf club, and the steward over that, well, it's quite an honor, and you're doing a great job. You have been here since what year?
2011.
That is a good term, and it's a term when you've seen this old gem evolve in a lot of ways.
Yes, so this is a classic George Fazio design, very tree-lined. The original founder had visions of Pine Valley with every hole being its own area, and you really couldn't see the group behind you or in front of you. You were in your own hole. Whereas now it's evolved to a more of a modern, wide-open course. In fact, over my shoulder, what used to be all trees was more of a forest. And now it's just transformed to a fescue area.
Yeah, you couldn't even see number 10 green over there.
That's right.
Before, because of all the trees, and all that side hill there was all trees. And in this particular case, it's helped Moselem Springs to play a little bit more like a firm, fast golf course, which I think is something that George Fazio intended in the beginning. One of the other things that I really like about Moselem Springs is the feeling of serenity. When you get out on the golf course, you don't see houses, you don't see much of anything else. You felt like you left the real world behind over there into your own little inner sanctum here.
So that's a comment we get from a lot of members and guests when they come across the bridge or down Eagle Road, is that they're getting away from the hustle and bustle, and the tree clearance and just the sprawling nature of this property has helped with that, and it really helps people enjoy being out in nature.
Yeah, I've tested that. I took my blood pressure on the other side of the bridge, and it was like 130 over 95. Came over the bridge, it was 110 over 60. And
That's
it stayed
amazing.
there the whole time I was on property.
Amazing.
Well, that's what golf was meant to be when George Fazio designed this golf course. Yes, he wanted a championship course, but yes, he wanted something that was totally special, and it has remained that way all these years. That's the amazing thing. Where's the high rises? They never popped up around it.
Not yet. We're in Berks County, Fleetwood, Pennsylvania, and it's a special place, and we're glad to be here.
Yeah, you even every once in a while see a horse and carriage go down the road right
Yes.
in front of the place here. It is Pennsylvania Dutch country. It is farmland, and it's really sort of the heartbeat of America.
That's right.
Yeah. Brett Nelson, head golf professional, Moselem Springs, a special place that continues to be special and gets even more special as the years go on. Brett, practice facilities are becoming more important at clubs. People using them don't have the time to play all day long, so at least they can come out and get a few swings in. And obviously you've expanded your practice facilities at Moselem.
Sure. Over the years, we've created a second level here. So we have 2 levels. So we have a full service practice facility. You can hit all clubs here, from wedge to driver, and we also have a short game area. So you can chips, pitches. You can hit up to 50, 75, 100-yard flags we have on the other end. So it's any of this, serious golfers to someone just learning. It's a great facility.
The short game practice facility is the golfer's playground. Let's go play. Tech Talk has taken a good look at so many of the clubs, from drivers to fairway woods to hybrids to irons. Now a putter, the Wingman, Dave Glod, president, founder, Touredge. Let's unveil it.
All right.
The Wingman.
It's just what it says. You can see the wings there. All the weight is backing away from the face. Super high MOI. Very stable on impact. So this is the new type of putter that's really selling well today. It's this mini mallet with a high MOI. So we really decided we need to be in this marketplace.
And you also made this with, you have the toe-weighted model, which is a lot of the better players and pros like.
So this happens to be that one where it's got a little bit of toe dip, about 30 degrees. So that's more the inside to outside player. And then we've got a face balance version with a bent shaft for straight back and straight through. And then a center shafted person who likes, like I said, the old bullseye style with the shaft going directly right next to the sweet spot. So yeah, 3 different versions, and a lot high MOI, easy to hit the ball straight.
This is almost a new area for Touredge, known for their ability to produce clubs that you can score with. Nothing more important in scoring than putting.
Yeah, this has got a lot of technology in a club for $199.
Vibracore?
Vibracore.
Vibracore. That's pretty cool.
It's injected? It's injected.
Vibracore. I feel the vibe. I'm feeling it.
So what is it?
The best feeling and longest times you'll ever hit.
Is that Bernhard? Oh, great. Langer.
You know why I play Touredge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Jeff Fick, assistant golf professional, Moselem Springs Golf Club, and quite an accomplished player. Even won the Heineman in the Philadelphia section play. Very prestigious tournament. But now he is faced with his toughest challenge yet, and that is to analyze the 4 par 3s at Moselem Springs. Maybe the toughest par 3s on just about any course around. Is that a fair assessment? These are a pretty tough challenge?
Yeah, they're all very difficult. I think the toughest part about them is they're all forced carry par 3s, and they all have very challenging greens.
We're going to play number 3 from how far?
About 175 yards.
Wow. All right, let's go have a whack at it and see how it goes.
Do it.
Oh, that's perfect. That's where you want it.
That's a keeper. Jeff, great shot. What's the key on this green?
The key is you got to play it a little bit right of the pin because everything works to the right. Now you want to miss it on the left side if possible.
Oh, good effort. Par's always a good score on this hole. Jeff, I thought we'd stop on our tour of the par 3s. We signed the stream here so that I could fish out the 1 or 2 dozen golf balls I have here and reflect a little bit more on the rest of the par 3s. We saw number 3 with a very severe green. Number 5, different thing altogether. Downhill, but a rather daunting shot over water.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful hole to look at. You can get over the water, it's not too bad, but you really want to focus on hitting the center of the green.
Lot to look at there. There's some beautiful foliage, and of course the water challenge goes up a little bit at number 13.
Yeah, for sure. 13, long. For any set of tees, I think it plays 150 to about 225 yards.
It's all carry.
It's all carry. You have to get over 2 bunkers that guard the front right and the front left.
You get in them, you've got to hit a really good bunker shot to get out.
Very good.
Some of the bunkers at Moselem Springs are challenging, and the others are beyond challenging. And then the grand finale.
15. 15 is actually one of the prettiest tee shots you're going to have all day. It overlooks the valley. It's only 120 to maybe 165 yards. Center of the green, and you're good to go.
I don't care which way you describe them, the toughest, the most picturesque, the most memorable par 3s, or D, all of the above. That's what you have at Moselem Springs.
I agree.
There's a few blind tee shots at Moselem Springs, but the good part, there's often a pleasant surprise on the other side. And on number 9, the surprise is a ball right in the middle of the fairway, 145 yards from the green. Birdies are rare at Moselem Springs. Let's see if number 9's the lucky number. Yeah! Time for a putting lesson. I got my Touredge Wingman all warmed up. Jeff Fick, I think we need to talk about putting philosophy at Moselem Springs, because if you don't have your mind fine-tuned when you get here, not just 3-putt, but maybe 4-putt city.
Yeah, that's our joke among our staff. When you join our staff, you are part of Team 3-putt, because it is very challenging to putt here. The biggest thing is you usually want to play more break than you see, because you have to putt pretty defensive around here because our greens are so undulating.
Defense, I know it. That's an important thing. Can you ever get your mind set the fact that you're going to make some 3-putts out here, but maybe you'll get lucky enough and knock in a birdie and that sort of equalizes things? Is that the way to go?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really expect to go around here without a 3-putt, but on the occasion you can.
One other factor that really comes into putting here, and that is green speeds. They're never really slow here.
No, they're never slow, but they're never super fast. They get up to maybe 12.
12. You hear that? Not super fast. That's a pro talking.
Well, if you get them higher than 12, the greens are pretty much unputtable. Yeah. That's how much slope there is.
They really are. But believe me, even at 11 on their slowest days, you got a downhiller.
You gotta watch out. Gotta be careful.
Get ready to kiss it goodbye.
Imagine a golf ball with the grip of a tire. Well, that's what you get with Bridgestone's new E12 Contact. Because the new Contact Force Dimple uses contact science technology similar to Bridgestone's high-performance tires. Engineered to create 38% more contact at impact. For more distance and control, try Bridgestone's new E12 Contact. Straight distance driven by science.
All right, the board meeting at Moselem Springs called to order. Chairman, Chris Wagner. Assistant Chairman, the traveling golfer. Chris, how about this? We are in the boardroom here at historic Moselem Springs, and I'm going to guess that there were a few meetings here over the years that maybe some good deals were put together.
Yeah, this is used regularly by the membership, and then obviously our actual board and some local businesses. And then we have a nice group of old guys that use it quite often up here, the old goats.
The old goats.
So, yeah, they enjoy it up here.
All right, well, hopefully I don't get barred from ever coming back to Moselem Springs by saying I'm on the board here. But at any rate, it is an important topic to talk to you about the structure of this famous private club and how it's changed over the years, and as we look forward to the future, because this is a growing, evolving club.
Yeah, we sort of have two different membership bases that intertwine very well. Our resident memberships that are all the local Berks County golfers, and then we have a large contingent of non-resident members that come all throughout Philadelphia and New Jersey and even further from that.
So that means somebody who lives 35 or more miles away from Moselem Springs, and they get to take a non-resident membership, and that's a good idea also.
Yeah, so it's 35 driving miles, so it's really easy to figure out. It's they get all the same rights and privileges as our resident members. They can play in all the same things. They just get a reduced rate membership. A lot of those, in fact, about 80% of them are second club members. They belong elsewhere also. This is a great retreat for them.
Yeah. And you make it easy for those non-resident members, because right here on property in the historic clubhouse, you have a lodge.
Yeah, we have 11 single rooms that for overnight accommodations, along with a suite, which is a multiple room setup. And we rent those often. Guys can stay if they've had a little too much fun here at Moselem. We keep the bar open late, the kitchen open late, and always have someone on property to service any of their needs.
So tell me, how does somebody who is not a member get to take advantage of that? Because that is a little window you leave for the people.
Yeah, so we have some great stay and play packages. So their golf professional can reach out to myself or my golf professional here, Brett Nelson, and book a 1 night, 2 night. We have a group that came last year for 2 nights and came back this year for 3. They had so much fun. And then obviously we encourage them just joining, and then it makes it even easier.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, we have an iconic logo of the cupola of the building. And for a club that a lot of people may say they never heard of, when our members travel and they're wearing the logo, someone inevitably comes up to them and says, "Oh, that's Moselem." You know, whether they're in Arizona or in California, or I was walking around Disney World and I had a person come up to me and notice the logo. It's neat. It's a special place. I like the phrase Tom Fazio said about this place. He says it's a feels place. It just feels good. And I think it evokes that feel-good feeling when people travel and they see the logo.
Folks, Chris Wegner, title's General Manager. I call him Chief of Hospitality here at Moselem Springs. He makes everybody who walks through that front door feel like a lifetime member, and that is part of the charm of this great historic golf club. Under the shadow of Holly Queer, founder of Moselem Springs Golf Club, I sit with co-founder John Gunther. John, I'm sitting on a historic piece of golf property with a historic golf figure. It's pretty good to be with you and to get a little bit of the first-person perspective of what's behind the Moselem Springs story, a story that I think is worth preserving in golf history. And you were here from the very beginning. 27 years old at the time this course was being built in 1964, already an accomplished amateur golfer. Went on to win the Pennsylvania Amateur Championship, Pennsylvania Open, Pennsylvania Senior Amateur Championship. It's a pretty good trifecta. So when you had your first conversations with George Fazio, was there any talk about making this a championship course? And by that I mean a course that could actually host the championship.
I would say there wasn't a whole lot of conversation with Mr. Queer. He made it pretty clear early on that he wanted something really nice. He felt, and he was right, that this particular terrain, it had so many natural features to it that a great golf course could be built on it. And I think Fazio said along the way that he has never seen a better piece of land to build a good golf course on.
You've loved it from the beginning. I'm going to ask you the tough question now. Are there any particular holes that you really love the most?
The 19th hole.
I'm with you on that one. You know, I'm pretty good there.
I think the 10th hole is the best hole in the golf course. The hole today has a drainage and spring going down the left side of the fairway. Cuts in front of the green, comes down the left side of the fairway, and then cuts in front of the tee. The actual trail where that drainage came down before we went, as nature had it, was probably 30 feet to the right, which would put it almost in the fairway. And George decided we'd just cover it. Yeah, that was a solution. And I said, why don't we just move it to the side?
Divert it and make it part of the features
exactly.
of the golf course. Well, when you come out here to play Moselem Springs, folks, when you get to the 10th hole and you lose your ball in that stream there, John Gunther, that's who you curse. He's the one who made sure that it was there all the way.
Don't worry, you didn't hit the first ball in there, I did. So.
John, words of wisdom and words of entertainment from you. I love the stories. Thanks a million.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Moselem Springs, an American golf classic. George Fazio design. It began in 1964 with national acclaim, and it has gotten better over the years. We hope you enjoyed this very special look inside Moselem Springs. We hope you get a chance to visit somewhere in the future. In the meantime, as always, we look forward to seeing you somewhere else along the golf trail with the Traveling Golfer.